Hello everyone, today we are checking out Aia Amare in Lucifer. Now I'm very excited to check this out because one of you recommended this to me and I haven't heard much of Aia Amare since the group song reaction we did for Let's Get It Started with the Iluna. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into things. I want to hear how her voice sounds and what kind of songs she picked out to cover. So let's play it in 3, 2, 1. Go. Ooh, let's just pause right there. Flashing lights, bright colors, sensitive imagery, and visual jump scares. So if any of you have an issue with that, please avert your eyes. Okay, was not expecting this kind of introduction here. All right. Right. I have to say, there's a lot of digital effect on her voice here, but because of the aesthetic of the song and just the atmosphere we're going to, it's quite palatable. I quite like the digital effect we're going for, though I will say, you know, there's a bit of give and take when you use strong digital effect on a vocal track, but I will say a good amount of her vocal demeanor is still coming through the track. So that's perhaps what I like the most about this vocal track, is that we can still hear a bit of how she's singing despite the heavy effects. Alright. And the instrumental backing here, it's kind of like funky. It's very, there's only really 2 tracks that I really notice per se in the instrumentation. It's just this kind of funky keyboard synth-esque tune accompanied by the digital percussion. Alright. It sounds like we have multiple vocal tracks there, but I'm not sure if that's just the elongation of the track we've kind of got. You can kind of hear there's like it feels like there's a decay after each real vocal enunciation we get there. Like, I'm not sure if that's just a pitch, like pitch manipulation of a single vocal track, or if those are multiple vocal tracks recorded and put into the mix. Quite interesting, quite an interesting transition there. Alright, that is multiple vocal tracks. So we can hear the differences in inflection there, and we're getting a backing, a high-pitched, more digitally manipulated vocal in the back of the mix than in the front of the mix, which is quite interesting. And then a synth rise. Ooh. Alright. Nice. That was a nice big impact to introduce that, like, just composition wise, that was very clean. And I quite like how the vocalist here, Aia, I like how she's approaching the song. The heavily digital effect on the vocal makes me think she probably isn't the most you know, I wouldn't say the most experienced singer. I don't want to say anything bad about her vocals because I quite like her vocals throughout. It's just because of the heavy digital effect, I can't get too much of a grasp on how she sings, or I can still hear her demeanor and some of the inflections she adds into her vocal track, but I can't have the most complete grasp on her voice and how she sings. And I will say the heavy digital effect, it kind of leans me towards thinking that this is maybe one of her first covers, if not her first cover. But let's go back there, because I quite like how we got this big impact, and her voice is very pleasant here. I actually really like her voice with this digital effect. And I'd say the instrumentation is what really leans towards that, because it's such a fitting track and such a fitting atmosphere for this kind of digital effect to come into play. Nice. I really like the synth bass we're getting. Ooh, alright. Alright, I like it. Okay, a significantly less digital effect on her voice, and it sounds way better. I really, really like her voice here. I really like how she dropped down low, got this rap-esque atmosphere going, her demeanor switch up. That was beautiful. And I like how we get this synth bass that almost emulates vocal fry for the vocals. It's very unique, and that's very fun. Now she's coming up high. And then coming back down low, more elongated. A little bit nasally. Ooh, that I wish they did. I wish she didn't put the, or whoever was handling the music production here, I wish they didn't put the digital effect on her vocals there, because that sounded beautiful. That sounded so good, but the digital effect kind of detracted from the vocals there. The pitch manipulation there, it was unnecessary. She sounded so good with her clean vocal for a bit there. Like, you can still hear the pitch correction there, but she would sound so much better there without the digital effect. She sounds beautiful. What I could hear from her voice kind of popping out of the mix, popping out through that digital effect, you're gonna hear the sort of sing-songy, the lift in her voice as she comes up high, and it sounds so good. But the digital effect, it only detracts from parts like this. Well, when obviously, you know, there is personal preference and everything, and this is just my personal preference. Whenever you've got vocal isolation, you're isolating a vocal track or pulling away from the instrumentation to really let the vocals shine through, you can't have a heavy digital effect when you're focusing on vocal flair, because you're having this conflict in your intentions, because you've got this heavy pitch correction, you've got this vocal suppression, and it's interfering with the listener's ear trying to hear what the vocalist is doing. So it's those kind of composition mix choices that get me kind of trip up different music producers, in my opinion. Of course, some people really like that style of music and they embrace that, but I personally think it detracts from the song. That said, from what I can hear of Aya's voice here, I really, really like it. I really like it. Nice. I like that vocal growl we got there. Vocal layering here. All right. A pretty short song here. I don't want anyone to think that I thought negatively of this cover because of the vocal digital effects. I really, really liked that, and I think it sounded amazing. But in my opinion, it's just pulling away from that digital effect on the vocals would enhance the cover. That's already good. I really, really liked Aya's voice in this cover. I want to hear more of it. I want to hear more through that digital effect. And obviously, this is a cover, so the original song could be, more of an inspiration for so much digital effect, and matching the original song could be why so much digital effect was used despite it being a talent's cover. But the fact that, this song was chosen by the talent or her team makes me think that maybe there wasn't as much confidence in the talent, whether from talent side or from management side, whatever. I think there should have been more confidence behind this cover, because it feels like this was very instrumental focused and more so composition focused. So whereas with what I could hear from the talent's voice here, I think a song that really just embraces vocal flair, runs, and just showcases vocals more and more, I think that would have suited a talent like Aya really well here. Of course, I did really like the song. I did really like this cover, but I just want to hear more of Aya's voice in the song. I just want to hear more of what her voice sounds like, and I think that should be sort of at the forefront of a talent's mind when they're producing a cover or an original song, because the purpose behind the song is really to showcase themselves more so than the music team, because they are the face of the company. They're the talent. So, of course, that is really just my personal preference, though. There are always disagreements, people who think differently, and I respect that. So, thank you all for recommending this, and thank you for watching. I will see you all next time. Feel free to recommend more in the comments below.